Hello everyone, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. For those familiar, you know what we're about to be getting into, and for those unfamiliar, well, have patience, because it's gonna get, well, interesting, to say the least. So this is a visual novel, so there's gonna be a bit of talking, so I'm gonna apologize in advance if I screw up any wording, but we'll see how we go. But it's not like other visual novels. I would not call this a dating sim, and let's just say that one of the genres is psychological horror, so we'll see how we go with this. Just like the disclaimer says in the beginning, this is not for people that are sensitive to things like, well, various kinds of... I don't want to say anything. No spoilers. You know what? If you're sensitive, don't play this. Maybe look it up first. But if you're not, well, let's have some fun and jump straight in. I've already named my character, so we should be good to go. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. Wow, harsh. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Before I go on a little bit further, apparently there's going to be new content dropped for this series, which is part of why I'm starting it up. We're a little bit late to the game on this. I meant to do it years ago, but I just didn't get around to it. I ended up playing it a couple of times myself and not recording any of it, so yeah. But since new content's about to drop, I don't know if it's going to be DLC or a new game or whatever. I thought now's the time, so here we are. Haha, haha. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. Okay, tiny hands girl. That's mean. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. Dude, that's harsh. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Man, the main character is a douche. I mean, like, have some empathy, bro. What the hell? Put some effort into your friendships. Like, if you're not going to see people often, at least, like, you know, acknowledge them warmly when you do talk to them. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. And now I feel called out. Uh-huh. Uh-uh. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'd worried that you wouldn't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. Aw. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. For those that don't know, a NEET is, it's someone between, like, school and further education or work. It's just basically someone bumming around doing nothing. Yeah. I might have been a NEET for a little bit, whatever. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look for a few clubs if that makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you will try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting in here spacing out, so I came in. Okay, this is one thing that bothers me with visual novels. They say something, and then the person says the same thing. So, main character's like talking inside his head to himself about how he's spacing out and nobody else is in the classroom, and how she must have just come in, and then she says that she did exactly that. I don't think this one does it as much as others, but it's still something that bugs me a little bit. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if that's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to join your club. Ah, meanie. Sayori is vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure that she did it because she thought it would be fun to help start up a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Oh, come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Hehehe. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yay, let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone! The new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori is always saying nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Shade. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Huh. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we've rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica is probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... you too, Monica. Come sit down. We made room for you at the table, so you can come sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then, how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Oh! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. Ah, I wish I could see it. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry up and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori... Sorry. Sayori talks with her mouth full and already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. But why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? Tsundere. I thought you technically did. Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not for, you know, you, dummy. Alright, alright. Okay, tsundere is like... I don't even think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but basically it's the concept of like... in anime and stuff like that, where a girl will be like, it's not like I like you or anything, but actually they do, and they're betraying their visage through their actions. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and I dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. The tea cake tray! You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you the leader of the debate club last year? Haha, well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like festivals that much more important. I'm confident that we can grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Still, I don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsu's head suddenly perks up. That's my girl. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Yeah, that's right, you read Berserk, don't you? You read Berserk and Dr. Stone. Or probably something crap, actually. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of a teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Yeah, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp at something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really, I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Damn it, she doesn't read Berserk. Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You'll have to scrap a paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands over her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. And then, the next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yay, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it can help us all get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right? Monica smiles warmly at me again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forward with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I'd join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Shade. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yay, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed. Get your hair out of her face, Monica, come on. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Shade, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really express the class star... Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed for after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the 2 of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 4 girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Or, you know, just grow interest in literature. Either way's good, right? Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. And I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Huh. Okay, I like kitties. And I like booping kitties. Okay, apparently Natsuki's a fan. Alright. Ribbon, determination, misfortune, essence, infallible, embrace, depression, Doki Doki? Jeez, it's all Natsuki. Anxiety. There we go. Games. Tears. Melody. Fantasy or dazzle? Play. I would really like to, I think Sayori's my favorite at the moment, although I do like Yuri as well. Let's see. Parfait's definitely got to be a Natsuki one. Alright. That one would be Sayori. Cheeks! Party! Oh, hell yeah! Sayori likes to party. pout, frightening, infinite. Climax? Jeez, hot. Candy. Okay. Chocolate? Okay, she's just gonna get all of the candy then, I guess. Lost, jeez. Settle down. Mouse or moose? Forgive. Pure? Why didn't these other two jump at pure? Alright. I like puppies. I like... Oh, okay. Let's see who wears nightgowns. Are you freaking serious? Okay. Passion. Massacre! Massacre! Jeez. Hi again. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last one to come in, so everybody else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for somebody who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Manga is literature. It's literally graphic novels. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Shade always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking and cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Shade can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori! Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's nothing really. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what it is. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. Sorry about that, guys. This game likes to alt-tab out. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take out the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everybody's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ah! I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in here? Frickin' Monica! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if somebody else is gonna come and mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. Screw that, I read manga. I love that shit. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She turns to the box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. Yeah, I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box she's admiring. Parfait Girls. It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It's the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Shade. Consider this a lesson straight from the Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colourful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. Don't just stand there. What? Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall, beneath the windowsill. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling for me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Eh? Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scoots an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space, while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? Huh? You don't go back and flip through all the volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at an ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like, when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. It's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Ah, is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Wait, what? What's that supposed to mean? What? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just mean I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there gonna be a lot of baking in this manga? Well... Natsuki pauses for a moment as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's... just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like I would ever get into anything just because it's in a manga. Right. I feel bad for anybody who's that impressionable. Yeah, it's written all over your face. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up from manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. You're alright, Natsuki. I should also point out now that she seems like she's younger, but she's actually the same age as the others, and that's a kind of cruel, nasty reason for that we find out later. Alright, makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. Yeah, that's a big part of the problem right there, her dad. But we'll get into that later. At least it's safe to keep here in the club room. Except Monica is kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience. The thought makes me smile a little bit to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though, you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Huh? Is that really alright? I say this, mostly because I didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish it if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow, I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this, but I suppose it's the necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then, I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everybody's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I share my poem with? I'm going to share with Natsuki because I'm pretty sure she jumped at more of the things that I said, and it also said that when you're writing poems, you're supposed to appeal to your favorite character, and I think the idea behind that is to know what they're going to like before you pick all of the words, and I don't know what they like. So I'm just going to choose whoever jumps the most whenever I write a poem, so I'm pretty sure that's Natsuki right now. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair I shared mine first with her. Okay, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point in sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And then you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap, horses can race. Owls can seek, cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Ouch. Yeah. I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everybody around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everybody is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go with Sayori. Team Cinnamon Bun. This is a good poem. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me how you're really part of the club now. Aw. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not really sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Aw. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Fair enough. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No? Just a little bit? You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I tried my best still. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially the last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Okay, Monika or Yuri? Monika started the thing, let's show her. Hi Shade! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, I'm glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or anything we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Or, no, I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Haha. Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Mm-hmm. I like it. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. Oh, God. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, would you have read anything by Shel Silverstein? Well, that's quite the name drop. Eh? Maybe a long time ago. Shel Silverstein writes stuff that's perceivably for younger people, but it depends on how you read it, I guess. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, yeah, there you go. But if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anyone. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kinda like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things too. A lot. Wait. So much talking. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to get the kind of style that suits you. Everything else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everybody else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Haha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for somebody who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't always mean I feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in a wall. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the speckle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of a meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. That's a bit unsettling. So what did you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you can call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Haha, that's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently, and it's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everybody is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip for the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and then tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Lucky last, Yuri. Yuri stares at my poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? Sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. Yep, that's the life of an anxious person, I know that pretty well. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I didn't really notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them a little bit. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick writing styles separate from the topic matter, and then they form-fit the two together. The end result is both a style that is expressive. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something that you can be blamed for. There are so many different styles and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them, but building them, and getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everybody else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be the literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calms, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers, and I flicker back. Oh, that was a good one. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking about that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, well, I don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Heh, that's a relief. I also liked the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. No, not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easier to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Come on, dude, it's about her, obviously. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts and feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little bit more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everybody is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is the literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They are gingerly exchanging sheets of paper, sharing their retrospective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem on the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Oh, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked somebody who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Shade did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Shade liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Okay, settle down there, Yuri. I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Oh shit. Call out. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Shade appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Dude, there's no need to be mean. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you're a little bit going out of your way to make everything dark and brooding as well, Yuri, so, like, relax, you girls, what the hell? Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Shade started showing up. Oh, shit. No, it's too late now. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turn towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Shade, she's just trying to make me look bad. I think you're both doing that to each other. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out to the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Shade? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? Indeed. Okay, so... Here's what I actually think. I think they're both right. I think there are definitely a lot of people who go out of their way to use overly descriptive words, and that definitely kind of strikes me as people being full of themselves. It's like... I don't know how to put it. It kind of seems like pretentious, I guess. And Yuri's also right in the sense that, you know, there's a lot of words that don't get used enough, so it is limiting ourselves, but you've also got to use them effectively. I think she used them effectively, but there are definitely a lot of people that don't. They use words to try and make themselves seem superior to others, so other people have to look in a dictionary to figure out what they mean, when they could just use a word that means the same thing, like a synonym or a simile. I think it's a synonym. Yeah, either way. Anyway, but at the same time, like, simple writing is good, because it appeals to everybody. Well, at least everybody can read it. It doesn't appeal to everybody, obviously. But, you shouldn't shun, a lot of descriptive words. A lot of them should be used more, but more casually, like, if you lay it on too thick, I feel like it misses the mark. And yeah, comes off pretentious, so... It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Oh god. I don't want to frickin' choose. Here's the thing about role-playing games and visual novels, though. You have to choose one, because this option here, Sayori, help me Sayori, That's gonna make both of them pissed off. So, since this is a day of hanging out with Natsuki, I guess, and her liking my poem and stuff, I guess I'll side with her for now, but we'll make up for it later by getting chummy with Yuri. Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I rack my brain to attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just as impressive as well. Okay, that's fair. It lets the reader's imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Shows how much you know. Hey, don't be a dick about it. That's not... Natsuki, I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today, and even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri. Yuri looks at me dejected. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey! It's not like you need to apologize for me. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki glances around the room. But everybody stop staring at me! Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori? I'll go make some tea. Huh? I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everybody's read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone, especially you, Shade. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from lazing around. We got a little bit too used to. Haha. So joining the club was responsible for me ruining the atmosphere. No, not at all. There's still time before we go home, so we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-based things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for, right? I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Haha, of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. Hehehe. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How do you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Shade, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job at impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Shade, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Alright, I'm gonna save that there, and we're gonna call that an episode. So, if you guys like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell to stay up to date with episodes, and until the next episode, which shouldn't be too far away. I am going to make these episodes a little bit longer though, because, you know, it's a visual novel. It's going to be drawn out. Doing half-an-hour episodes will be up to episode 20 or 30 or something, and we can make this a shorter series if we do it this way. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. You've been watching DudeGoBack.